Welcome back to JBTA SQL 100. In this lesson, we are going to learn one of the most important and most powerful features in SQL Server. It is called Group By. A database table can contain thousands or even millions of records. Reading every single row is not always useful. In most real-world situations, we need only a summary of the data. For example, we may want to know how many employees work in each department. We may want to know the total sales for each city. We may want to know how many products were sold or what the average salary is for each department. The Group By clause helps us answer these questions. It groups together all rows that have the same value in a selected column. After the rows are grouped, SQL Server can perform calculations for each group and produce a meaningful summary. This makes it easy to understand large amounts of data without looking at every individual record. That is why Group By is one of the most commonly used clauses in SQL Server reporting and data analysis. In this lesson, you will learn what Group By is, why it is used, how to write Group By queries correctly, how to use aggregate functions with Group By, and the common mistakes that beginners should avoid. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to summarize large amounts of data and create professional reports with confidence. Now let us begin and learn how Group By can turn thousands of rows into meaningful information. Imagine you are working in a company where the sales table contains 10,000 records. Every day, new sales transactions are added to the database. Looking through every single row would take a lot of time, and it would be difficult to understand the overall business performance. Now suppose your manager asks a simple question. How much total sales did each city generate? The manager does not want to see all 10,000 records. The manager only wants one result for each city. This is a common situation in real-world business applications. Managers and business analysts are interested in summaries instead of individual records. This is where the Group By clause becomes very useful. Group By collects all rows that have the same value in a selected column and combines them into a single group. SQL Server can then calculate values such as the total sales, the average sales, the highest value, the lowest value, or the number of records in each group. Instead of returning thousands of rows, SQL Server returns only a few meaningful results that are easy to read and understand. This not only saves time, but also helps businesses make better decisions based on summarized data. Throughout this lesson, you will learn how Group By transforms large amounts of data into simple and meaningful reports with just a single SQL query. Let us understand why we need the Group By clause. Imagine a table that contains thousands of employee records. If you display the entire table, SQL Server will return every row exactly as it is stored in the database. While this gives you complete information, it is not always useful when you need a quick summary. Now suppose you only want to know how many employees work in each department. You are not interested in the details of every employee. You only need one result for each department. This is where Group By becomes useful. The Group By clause collects all rows that have the same value in a selected column and places them into a single group. For example, all employees in the Human Resources Department become one group. All employees in the Information Technology Department become another group. The same process continues for every department in the table. Once the rows are grouped, SQL Server can perform calculations for each group. It can count the number of employees, calculate the total salary, find the average salary, or determine the highest and lowest salary in each department. Instead of returning thousands of individual rows, SQL Server returns only a few summarized rows. This makes the data much easier to read, understand, and analyze. That is why Group By is one of the most important tools for reporting, data analysis, and business intelligence in SQL Server. Now that we understand why Group By is useful, let us learn its basic syntax. Every Group By query starts with a select statement. In the select clause, we specify the column that we want to group and the aggregate function that performs the calculation. Next, we specify the table using the from clause. Finally, we use the Group By clause followed by the column name that contains the values to be grouped. When SQL Server executes this query, it first reads all the rows from the table. Then it groups together all rows that have the same value in the specified column. After creating the groups, it applies the aggregate function to each group and returns one result for every group. For example, if we group data by department, SQL Server creates one group for human resources, one group for information technology, one group for sales, and one group for every other department in the table. If we use the count function, SQL Server returns the number of employees in each department. If we use the sum function, it returns the total value for each department. If we use the AVG function, it returns the average value for each department. The important point to remember is that Group BY does not return every row from the table. Instead, it returns one summarized row for each group. Understanding this simple syntax is the first step toward creating powerful reports and summaries in SQL Server. Let us see how Group BY works with a simple example. Imagine we have an employees table that contains information about employees working in different departments. The table includes employee names, department names, and salaries. If we display the table without using Group BY, SQL Server returns every employee as a separate row. Now suppose we want to know how many employees are working in each department. Instead of looking at every employee record, we can use the Group BY clause along with the count function. SQL Server first groups all employees who belong to the same department. After creating the groups, it counts the number of employees in each department. The result is much smaller and much easier to understand. Instead of hundreds or thousands of employee records, we get one row for each department, along with the total number of employees in that department. For example, the sales department may have 20 employees. The information technology department may have 15 employees. The human resources department may have 8 employees. This type of summary is very useful for managers, team leaders, and business analysts because they can quickly understand the distribution of employees across different departments. This is the real power of Group BY. It transforms detailed data into meaningful information that helps businesses make better decisions. The real power of Group BY becomes visible when it is used together with aggregate functions. An aggregate function performs a calculation on a group of rows and returns a single result for that group. Some of the most commonly used aggregate functions are count, sum, AVG, max, and min. The count function returns the number of records in each group. The sum function calculates the total value for each group. The AVG function calculates the average value for each group. The max function finds the highest value in each group. The min function finds the lowest value in each group. For example, if we group employees by department, we can count the number of employees in each department. We can calculate the total salary paid by each department. We can also find the average salary as well as the highest and lowest salary for every department. Instead of writing separate queries for each department, SQL Server performs all these calculations automatically for every group. This makes Group BY and aggregate functions a powerful combination for creating reports, dashboards, and business analysis. Once you understand how these functions work with Group BY, you can answer many real-world business questions using a single SQL query. There is one very important rule that every SQL developer must remember when using Group BY. Every column that appears in the select statement must either be included in the Group BY clause or be used inside an aggregate function. This rule is very important because SQL Server needs to know how to produce one result for each group. For example, if you group the data by department, then the department column can appear in the select statement because it is part of the Group BY clause. If you want to display the salary column, you cannot simply include it in the select statement because each department contains many different salary values. SQL Server does not know which salary value should be displayed for that department. Instead, you must use an aggregate function such as sum, AVG, max, min, or count to calculate a single value for the entire group. If you forget this rule, SQL Server will generate an error because the query is asking for information that cannot be summarized correctly. Whenever you write a group by query, always check your select statement carefully. Every selected column should either be part of the group by clause or be inside an aggregate function. Remembering this simple rule will help you write correct SQL queries and avoid one of the most common mistakes made by beginners. Let us look at a real-world example to understand how Group BY is used in business. Imagine you are working for an online shopping company. Every day, thousands of customer orders are stored in the database. Each order contains information such as the customer name, product, city, quantity, and order amount. If the manager asks to see every order, the report will contain thousands of rows, and it will be difficult to understand the overall business performance. Instead, the manager may ask questions like these. What is the total sales for each city? How many orders were placed in each city? Which department generated the highest sales? How much revenue came from each product category? These questions do not require every individual record. They require summarized information. Using the Group BY clause, SQL Server groups all records that have the same city, department, or product category. It then performs calculations, such as counting the number of orders, calculating the total sales, or finding the average order value for each group. The final report contains only a few meaningful rows, instead of thousands of detailed records. This allows managers to quickly understand business performance, identify trends, compare results, and make better decisions. That is why Group BY is widely used in business reports, sales analysis, finance, human resources, inventory management, and many other real-world applications. When beginners start using Group BY, they often make a few common mistakes. Understanding these mistakes will help you write better SQL queries and avoid unnecessary errors. The first mistake is selecting a column that is not included in the Group BY clause and is not used inside an aggregate function. SQL Server cannot decide which value should be displayed for that group, so it returns an error. The second mistake is forgetting to use an aggregate function when a summary value is required. Simply grouping the data is not enough. You must also use functions like count, sum, avg, max, or min to calculate meaningful results. Another common mistake is grouping by the wrong column. If you group by a column that contains unique values, SQL Server creates one group for each row, which defeats the purpose of summarizing the data. Some beginners also expect Group BY to sort the results automatically. This is not true. Group BY only creates groups. If you want the results in a specific order, you should use the order by clause. Another mistake is misunderstanding the purpose of Group BY. It is designed to summarize data, not to display every individual record. Before running any Group BY query, always ask yourself two questions. What column am I grouping by? What calculation do I want SQL Server to perform for each group? If you can answer these two questions clearly, you will write accurate Group BY queries and create meaningful reports with confidence. Congratulations! You have successfully completed Lesson 15 of the JeyB SQL 100 course. In this lesson, you learned what the Group BY clause is, why it is used, how it groups similar records together, and how it works with aggregate functions to create meaningful summaries. You also learned the basic syntax of Group BY, saw practical examples, understood the most important rule to follow, explored real-world business scenarios, and discovered the common mistakes that beginners should avoid. Group BY is one of the most important SQL clauses because it helps transform large amounts of data into clear and useful information. It is widely used in reports, dashboards, and business analysis. Take some time to practice writing Group BY queries using different tables and different aggregate functions. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. In the next lesson, we will learn about the having clause. You will discover how to filter group data after Group BY and create even more powerful SQL reports. Thank you for watching this lesson. If you found this lesson helpful, continue learning with the next lesson in the JeyB SQL 100 series. Keep practicing. Keep learning. See you in the next lesson.